Abolishing slavery has got me on the run. Abolishing slavery has got me having fun. Oh, abolishing slavery. Oh, abolishing slavery. Oh, abolishing slavery.
Since the dawn of civilization, mankind has engaged in slavery, the ruling classes dominating and controlling the masses. But this program isn't about bound and chained slavery. It's about how we've been brainwashed and manipulated by the military-industrial complex, divided by race and hatred, influenced and exploited by the corporate media. In this special episode, we're looking at a virtual political revolution that's unfolding in the United States. The American Revolution of 1776 was a violent revolt against British colonial rule and the tyranny of King George III. Today, in 2016, we're on the cusp of a second American Revolution, exactly 240 years after the first. This time, the revolt is nonviolent, and it's against a broken system and the billionaire corporate elite. It's a revolution for political change and social justice. And the man who is champion of this revolution is presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders. He's tirelessly fought for the middle and working classes for over 40 years. He's always been on the side of the people and on the side of what's right. Take this Panama Papers scandal. Billionaires and corporations dodging their taxes offshore. Big surprise. Bernie was against the Panama trade deal from the beginning. He's on the record. Hillary Clinton, however, aggressively promoted the deal. Bernie Sanders voted against the war in Iraq. Hillary voted for it. The war destroyed their country, destabilized the whole region. We left radioactive battlefields behind, contaminated by depleted uranium that was used in our weapons. 500,000 Iraqi children have died since the start of the war, and thousands of our young people have died or been maimed. And for what? So that we could grab their oil? So that Dick Cheney and Halliburton could pick up another $3 billion? Hillary has since said that it was an error in judgment to vote for that war. Do you really want a president that has such flawed judgment? Bernie's against senseless wars, period. He was against Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, because he knows that the warmongers and the chicken hawks profit from the sale of weapons and munitions, and that all the rest of us get is burying our dead and carrying our wounded. Bernie Sanders is doing something unique in American politics. He's telling the truth, and millions of people are listening. The billionaire class think that they can manipulate us in any way that they want because we're just a bunch of sheep, ready and willing to follow their lead.
What do you want?
And they've gotten away with using their propaganda machine for many, many years. In fact, the corporate media are giving Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump 20 times the coverage they give Senator Sanders. And the limited coverage they do give Bernie is mostly negative. He's too old. How can he pay for his programs? He's impractical. He's too radical. They report Hillary winning a primary with just 1% of the vote counted to demoralize Bernie's supporters, and don't report landslide victories for hours after the final count is in for Bernie. But the people aren't buying the corporate propaganda anymore. They hear the truth being told by Bernie, that politicians govern on behalf of corporations instead of people, that everything is for sale. Public policy, federal land, government permits, natural resources, trees and wildlife, and the water we drink. Elections are held every few years, but nothing much seems to change. Rich donors stack their money behind the party and the candidate that they want to win. No matter who wins, the citizens lose. The rich hide their money offshore, while everyone else slowly drowns in debt. Lower wages, higher taxes, as the cost of living spirals out of control. Bernie Sanders is honest and compassionate and has integrity, and offers the only sane alternative to the present rigged system. He promises a $15 minimum wage, free college tuition, Medicare for all, equal pay for women, affordable housing, 3-month paid maternity leave. He also promises to fight the rigged economy that sees 99% of new wealth flow to the top 1/10 of 1%. He wants to decriminalize marijuana. He wants to dismantle the big banks and change the criminal code so that corporation executives can be charged and jailed for illegal activity. He's for all people, regardless of race, sexual orientation, and religion. I've heard people say they don't support Bernie because he's a socialist. Man, that's the propaganda machine at work again. America's immersed in socialism. Roads, bridges, parks, public golf courses, snow and garbage removal, public parking, the Metrodome, the Xcel Energy Center, the new TCF Stadium at the University of Minnesota, the new Target baseball park, all socialism, as is the U.S. Postal Service, public schools, Social Security and Medicare, all socialism. It's the corporate elite that don't want socialism. They want us to pay for everything. They want you to pay for the air you breathe and the water you drink. You've been fooled if you think otherwise. Mark Twain said it best over 100 years ago. It's easier to fool people than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. And we've been fooled. Hillary Clinton wants to maintain the status quo, throw you a few incremental bones, but maintain the present corruption. If you fall for that, you're a volunteered slave.